Welcome to the first full leg day I'll ever be posting on this channel. We're starting off with SSB squat bar with 40 pounds of chains. So this is 205 pounds plus 40 pounds of chains. I'm doing it for pretty high reps. I think I do 9 on my first set. And my biggest regret this entire workout is not doing 10. Because I think I could have done 10 because I mash on my second set, which you will see. But I'd never used chains on a leg movement before, or a squat or a deadlift motion. And they make it insane. It's a lot like pressing, where you can't use momentum, so the bounce out of the bottom doesn't help you near as much. And you get beyond a certain point, like that very end is pretty easy to lock out. But the middle range, it takes the sticking point and kind of stretches and elongates it on both sides to make it super difficult. The goal of this movement should be very obvious to you, is about huge, succulent, dense, veiny, girthy quads. Obviously, we're using the SSB, which is much more quad biased. It's kind of like very much like a front squat, but you don't have to maintain the mobility. I still really like front squats, but this gym I'm only at for a month, and they have an SSB. And my college gym at home, they don't have an SSB. So I'm going to do this while I'm here. I've been doing this, spamming this and belt squats because I have access to them. And reverse hypers, which you'll see later in this video. Just doing a lot of leg exercises that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. And I'm spamming chains because, I'd never used chains in a leg movement till now, like I said. But I'm spamming chains because my college gym banned me from using chains. My friend and I showed up to max our bench press with chains because he'd never used chains before. And we got into a warm-up set where the top weight kind of matched his old bench max, and it was super easy for him. So we were super excited. And they come over and tell us that we're not allowed to use chains because we might damage the equipment. And it was a whole ordeal. And like this person that told us got another person, and they told their supervisor, and he called the director of university recreation. So we went all the way up the stack and we are not allowed to bring chains to the gym, which is really disappointing because I spent like $100 on these chains. But I'm getting my use out of them this month and some good training footage with them. So it is what it is. And I failed the last rep there, as you can see. Now, as you can see, I'm training calves. And I sped this up because nobody wants to watch me do this for 2.5 minutes or however long it was. But I want big calves, and I haven't found a ton of movements I love. But I really like the belt squat. I'm leaning forward to get a lot more, turn it into a donkey calf raise, get them more stretch. And I like doing these on a leg press as well, where you just lean forward. It seems to help a lot. But there's not much to see here, so I sped it up. Next, I moved on to the main hinge of the workout. I always include in my leg days a squat and a hinge, usually both reasonably heavy. The hinge, though, is usually more reps than the squat. Today it was reversed, and it's usually 2 sets of the hinge and 2 or 3 of the squat. But this is a movement that's pretty new for me. I call it a stiff-legged RDL, just to give it a name, which is a really long name, but it's because I keep my legs completely straight. But I'm only really tapping the ground. I don't want to let all the weight down. I want to keep it floating. But I have these plates on the ground so that I can standardize my range of motion and progress it lower over time. And this is about as much as I can do without some severe back rounding. But keeping your legs completely straight leads to some crazy hamstring sensations. Like, I've never felt anything quite like it. Maybe something similar on leg curls, but this you feel way closer to your butt, like at where your hamstring attaches at the top, whereas leg curls, I feel that sensation way lower, usually around my knee. But the most I've conventionally pulled is 4 plates. I tried 455, got it to like right below my knees and dropped it, but I think now I could do 455, and this year I really want to deadlift 5 plates. But I never conventionally deadlift. I'm not a big fan of the high specificity training, so I'm just doing variations, and then when I think I'm strong enough, I'm going to go for it. So I did 3 sets of leg extensions after this. I'm moving on to the isolations, and this is hands down the best leg extension machine I've ever used. It looks old, it looks janky, but you can adjust everything, and it's very smooth. I get crazy grinders on this, which usually doesn't happen. Well, it does, but not in the same way as leg extension at the gym I normally go to. But this set is crazy. I was feeling good. They felt amazing today. So, and like I said right here, as a huge grinder, like I don't know if I'd be able to grind that out on a different leg extension. This one just feels so balanced. But I went beyond failure on this set. I even take a second to rest. And this is really fun when I'm feeling good to do some rest pause on isolation work. But it hurts so bad. And my quads were huge and like filled with blood after this. And I did it I did it twice. I kind of forgot. Yeah, that's the noise of a fucking leg hypertrophy right there. That grunt. Then of course, after leg extensions, follow up with leg curls. Again, this machine for some reason can't really put my finger on it. It just feels smooth and even. Feels really good. Maybe just because it's slightly different, it feels good. But I was able to grind out some crazy reps. Now, I tried a new movement. I did reverse hypers. I'd seen these online because of Alex Leonidas, but I'd never had the chance to try them. But this gym actually has a reverse hyper. So I did 3 sets. And it's true, it makes your lower back feel like bliss. You get a crazy pump in your ass and lower back. But afterwards, your lower back doesn't really, at least mine didn't feel fatigued. Of course, I'm not using maximal weight or reps. I'm doing it more for blood flow. But it didn't feel fatigued. It just felt amazing, very loose. Last part of the workout, I did glute and ham raise sit-ups, and I supersetted these with dumbbell shrugs, as we'll see in a moment. But I have neglected ab training, really a lot of core training, everything other than lower back, for the entire time I've been training. But this exercise, I love. I look forward to progressing on it. This is the first time I ever did it, I believe. And because there's no back support, you are basically training your bracing and your crunching at the same time. You really have to fight to hold at the bottom. And I even hold for a few seconds after my set is over so that I can practice that bracing at the bottom. And I've seen people like Bald Omni Man, I think, does those with like 40 pounds or something. A stupid amount of weight. But if you hold it behind your head, like if I put my hands in front of my body, it's way easier. But if you hold behind your head, it's very difficult. I could only do 7 or 8. I think it was 7. And of course, at the end of every workout, you have to have a physique check. So I'm flexing the quads. They are getting larger and stronger. So I think I'll be able to hit a 365 squat when I go back home. And I'm really excited to do that. And hopefully shoot for 4 plates this year. Bye.